Um, Good morning, everyone. So today, as we have already scheduled prior, we are going to have a case presentation. So already the first 10 members were shared the case presentation the day before. So one of you will be presenting the case right now, and we'll have a case presentation now from A. Narendra. So Narendra, you can start presenting your case.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, friends.
Morning.
Good morning.
Present the case.
A 60-year-old female, Rangamma, came with a chief complaint of defective vision of both the eyes since 5 years. History of presenting illness. Defective vision of the both eyes since 5 years. The defective vision is veinless, progressive, and gradual in onset. She has also a history of colored halos since 1 year and glare since 1 year, and she has a secondary vision and the improvement of the near vision.
Okay, stop there. Where do you see colored halos? What are the conditions to see the colored halos?
In acute congestive glaucoma,
Okay,
early stages of cataract, and mucopurulent conjunctivitis.
very good. What is
In
scan test?
when we pass a slit when we pass it in front of the eye between the lamp and the eye, the color halos will disappear in senile cataracts, sir, and color halos will be persistent in acute congestive glaucoma, sir.
Very good. Come on, proceed.
And medication and past history. She has a best corrected vision of 5/60 in the right eye and 3/60 in the left eye. No history of medications. No personal history. No history of smoking, alcohol. Diet, bowel and bladder movements are normal. No history of occupational history. No.
How do you test the visual acuity in an individual? What's the procedure you do? How do you test visual acuity in any individual? Suppose this patient has come, or anybody else
Yes.
actually will come refractive
Yes.
error will come. How do you test
By
it?
Snell's. By using Snell's chart, we will test. Snell's chart.
Narendra, yes, please repeat yourself.
Snell's chart, madam.
How do you spell it?
What, ma'am?
How do you spell it?
Spelling.
Snell's.
No, there is a procedure, you cannot actually just say Snell's chart or something you said. It is Snell's chart, test drum or test chart, okay? And how do you test the patient's visual acuity? These are basics. And these things we definitely ask you in the examination. You should be able to tell them without any hesitation. How do you test the vision?
By keeping a Snell's chart at 6 feet distance, 6-meter distance, we
What distance? How much of the what's the distance between the patient and also Snell's test chart and drum?
6 meters, sir.
6 meters. Okay.
Then we close the one eye and
Put the trial frame and put a block in one eye, in one socket.
put a block in one eye, and we ask the patient to read the
Suppose if he is able to read up 636, then what are you going to do?
also.
Suppose the patient is able to read until 6:36, then how will you try to test the vision further? How will you try to improve the vision?
We will magnify further.
Suppose if he's able to read up to 636 and not able to read further, then we put a pinhole in front of that particular eye and ask him to see through the hole in the pinhole and then read. Suppose if the vision improves up to 6.6, that indicates that the patient has got a refractive error and it can be corrected with suitable glasses. Okay. So whenever you are talking about actually the vision, you must take actually naked vision, and the patient has got already glasses with glasses and with a pinhole. All these three things actually you must mention in your case sheet. And another thing is, because these people, they are elderly people, you must see actually the near vision also. So how the near vision is. Okay. Go ahead. Continue your presentation. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Continue your presentation.
As it is it shows the secondary vision. It is normal in it appears in senile cataract. In senile in early stages of senile cataract, the secondary vision appears due to the increased opacity of the lens, and the patient is also having colored halos, and he has a gradual progressive loss of vision, and the slit lamp examination shows the opacity of lens of the second grade, which are yellow in color, yellow to brown in color.
Whenever you are present in the case, actually, you will have to start from the lids or even eyebrows. Understand? And go to the structure, lids, lashes, if they are actually inverted, if there is any entropion or ectropion, whether there is any trichiasis or dystrichiasis, any blepharitis, or any lesions in the lid, all these things actually you must mention. And next you go on to the conjunctiva. Come on, present your case.
Examination of the eyelids, the position of the eyelids and the movements of the lids, and the lid margins are examined, and the abnormalities of the skin and palpebral aperture are examined.
What is the normal size of palpebral aperture?
28 to 30 mm horizontally and 8 to 10 mm vertically.
Okay, go ahead.
And the examination of the lacrimal apertures. Examine for the atropine or corneal ulcers in all patients before intraocular inspection of the lacrimal sac and the lacrimal puncta and lacrimal synergy.
What is regurgitation test?
Pressure over the lacrimal sac area just medial to the canthus. Canthus is upright, sir. And if any discharge from the puncta is observed, it is normally negative, sir. And in dacrocystitis, the regurgitative test is positive.
When do you say it is positive? When do you say it's negative?
When the regurgitation is present, it is said positive, and if no regurgitation is present, it is negative.
Okay, go ahead.
After lacrimal apparatus, next what are you observing? What are you examining?
Eyeballs.
See, what is the general order? You are not going to write all this in your practical exam. Okay, you will be writing eyelids, then you will be writing conjunctiva. Narendra?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, see, after eyelids, you will be writing conjunctiva, and in conjunctiva, what are you examining?
We will examine the bulbar conjunctiva
Okay.
and lower palpebral conjunctiva
Okay.
and upper palpebral conjunctiva, ma'am.
What are you looking for in them?
Any conjunctivitis or
What is the redness?
and any
of conjunctiva
any
called?
any redness.
Yeah, what is the term for it? Congestion. Okay. Any
And
congestion?
examination of the superior fornix will be examined.
Okay.
And any conjunctival signs are tested, ma'am.
Okay.
And discoloration of the conjunctiva or any edema in the conjunctiva or any
You call it?
follicles. Any follicles are tested. Any follicles are there is seen, ma'am.
Narendra, what is edema of the conjunctiva known as?
Chemosis,
Ah.
conjunctival chemosis.
And tell me the differences between conjunctival congestion and circumcorneal congestion.
Narendra, where do you see circumcorneal congestion?
More and more marked around the limbus. It is more marked about the limbus, ma'am.
Okay. In which condition do you see it?
Acute iridocyclitis
Okay.
and corneal ulcers.
Okay. Where is conjunctival congestion more commonly seen anatomically?
In fornices, ma'am.
Very good.
Okay, good.
What are the other differentiating features? What's the color of the conjunctival congestion? What is the color of circumcorneal congestion?
Conjunctival congestion is red, bright red, and circumcorneal congestion is dull red, sir.
Yeah, next, what is the other differences? 3 more differences, we close it. Arborescence or branching is present in conjunctival congestion, whereas circumcorneal congestion is brush border like.
Congestal vessels
Blood
move
flow is
in
from periphery to center in case
center.
of,
Conjunctival congestion
okay, from center to the periphery in.
and ciliary
So
congestion.
suppose if you add in drop of adrenaline, what will happen?
Vessels immediately blanch in conjunctival congestion, sir.
Very good. Next, go ahead. After conjunctiva, you can go to cornea.
Narendra, what will you look for in cornea?
Any corneal sensation, vascularization,
First, you start with
transparency
the
of the
size of the
cornea,
cornea, shape of the cornea. Isn't it?
size and shape of the
It's the
cornea.
normal size of the cornea.
11 to 12 mm. 11 to 12 mm in diameter.
Is it circular? What's the shape of the cornea?
Elliptical, sir.
Then you should have two measurements, isn't it? Vertical and
Horizontal diameter.
and vertical.
Horizontal is 11.5 to 12 mm and vertical is 11 mm.
When do you call it microcornea? When do you call it megalocornea?
And when it is diameter is less than 10 mm, it is called microcornea, sir. And more than 13 millimeters, it is called megalocornea.
Okay, very good. Next. Go ahead, present your case. Continue.
We will see the shape of the curvature of the we will see the curvature of the cornea, sir.
And you look for any opacities or scars, okay?
Surface
Corneoplasties or vascularization of the cornea. What is the blood supply of cornea? Which artery supplies cornea? Huh?
Ciliary artery.
Ciliary artery, I will kick you off. Cornea
Narendra,
is avascular. No blood supply to that. Isn't it?
Narendra, cornea is avascular. That is why it's transparent. Okay.
Sorry, confused. Sorry, madam.
Oh, continue. Okay. After cornea, what will you look for?
Yeah, orbits and eyeballs.
Cornea, after cornea, what
See,
it is?
what is
Contact
behind,
eye.
immediately behind the cornea, between the iris and the cornea? What is that space known as?
Anterior chamber, ma'am.
So you'll go in order. After eyelids, there's conjunctiva, and then there is cornea, and then there is anterior chamber.
Depth. We will see the depth of the anterior chamber and
The
the
normal depth of the anterior chamber, in the center and in the periphery.
sir.
Normal depth of anterior chamber in the
Normally.
center,
2.5 millimeters.
in periphery.
Yeah.
Is it the same or different?
Where is it more deep, in the center or in the periphery?
In the center, ma'am.
Okay. Next, continue further.
And we will see any hypophyon or aqueous.
What is accumulation of blood in the anterior chamber known as? Blood in the anterior chamber.
Hypemia.
Hyphema.
Hypema.
Collection of pus in the anterior chamber. Just now you told. Before hyphema, what did you say?
Aqueous flare. Hypopyon, ma'am.
It's hypopyon, okay. So, okay, that you see in anterior chamber. After anterior chamber, what will you examine?
Iris.
What will you look for in iris?
Color. Positions.
Okay.
And any iridocyclitis and pattern of the.
Okay. What is that loss of pattern known as?
Loss of
The
pattern.
iris. It is iris atrophy, okay? Okay, after iris, what will you look for?
Pupil size of the pupil margins and any reactions.
What are the two types of pupillary reaction?
Light reflex.
In light reflex, what are the two types?
Direct and indirect.
Okay. Okay, you look for size, you look whether the pupil is reacting to light, okay?
Yes,
Whether
ma'am.
the pupil is
And
normal.
margins.
And the margins.
Margins and shape of the pupil.
Okay, okay.
And the lens, color of the lens. And
Okay.
iris shadow and position of the lens.
What is iris shadow, Narendra?
Iris shadow, when light is projected obliquely, a shadow is formed, ma'am. Yes.
Where is the shadow formed? On what part is the shadow formed? Why is it formed? In what type of cataract do you find iris shadow?
In immature cataract.
Okay, why do you find it in immature cataract and not in mature?
Due to opacities.
In both the
Due to
conditions,
opacities. It is completely opaque in mature cataract.
Okay, in immature cataract, it's not completely opaque. So what happens? So there is clear cortex still present in immature cataract.
Yes, ma'am.
So the iris is casting a shadow as a crescent at the pupillary margin level. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Iris shadow is an important differentiating feature, especially when you're examining under your torchlight also. Okay.
Do you see an iris shadow in a normal lens?
Normal lens, no, sir.
What are the prerequisites for seeing an iris shadow? What should you should have? You should have clear lens fibers and at the same time opacity, isn't it?
Yes.
So in case of immature cataract, you have got clear lens fibers and also an opacity. But in case of mature cataract, you don't have clear lens fibers. In case of clear normal lens, there is no opacity at all. So that's the reason actually only in immature cataract you see an iris shadow. Okay, go ahead.
Narendra, in today's case presentation, what is the kind of cataract you're finding?
It is a senile nuclear cataract, ma'am.
Okay.
Due to the stage 2 yellow and brown color, stage 2 nuclear cataract, ma'am.
Okay.
And the patient also complained about slow, gradual, painless vision and colored halos. And he also complained about the second side, where there is
What is second sight?
due to in early stages of the senile cataract, due to increase in opacity of the lens, the refractive power of the lens changes and the near sight gets prominent.
See, in nuclear sclerosis, there is myopia. Okay. Because of myopia, Narendra?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, because of myopia, what is happening?
Swelling of the lens nucleus, angle of refraction of the light more precisely on the retina, ma'am.
See, in presbyopia, patient can accommodate or cannot accommodate in presbyopia.
Presbyopia patient,
What is definition of presbyopia?
the image is formed behind in front of the retina, ma'am.
See, in presbyopia, as age increases,
Presbyopia,
the patient's ability to accommodate will decrease. But what happens in nuclear sclerosis is because of the increasing nuclear sclerosis, there will be myopia, and myopic patients can usually comfortably accommodate. And suddenly at that age, the patient who was not able to accommodate will be able to accommodate now because of the newly occurring myopia. So he will not need any glasses for near vision. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that is second side. Okay, in this picture, what is the rough size of the pupil you can see? Especially in the left eye, it's more clear. What do you think is the size of the pupil? Is it normal size or dilated or what?
Dilated, ma'am.
Okay, it is a dilated pupil. Okay, it is not completely dilated because you can see the iris still. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
The iris is quite visible in the periphery. This is almost like a more than a mid-dilated pupil, but not yet completely dilated. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What else will you look for? What is the color of an immature cataract?
Immature cataract, it's gray in color, ma'am.
Gray, grayish white.
Yes, ma'am.
What are the names for different colors of nuclear cataract?
White or grayish yellow, grade 2 is yellow, grade 3 is amber color,
Okay.
brownish, and finally it's become blackish color, ma'am.
What are the technical terms for brown, black, and red?
No, ma'am. Hard and rock hard in color. Rock hard.
Brown cataract is cataract of brunescence. Red is rubra and black is nigra. It is there in your textbooks, okay? Okay, what else are you looking for in the lens? You look for iris shadow, you're looking for color. What else will you see?
Position of the iris, position of the lens, and the Purkinje images.
Okay,
Transparency.
okay.
Any deposits on the anterior surface of the lens.
What kind of deposits can occur on the lens surface? And in which stage? In
Pigmented
hyper,
clumps may be deposits.
what are the deposits? See, you can find calcium deposits in late stages, especially hypermature stage, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the color of mature cataract? You said grayish white for immature. What is the color of mature cataract?
Mature color black in color, ma'am. Brown to black in color.
I'm talking about a mature senile cortical cataract. You're right. Nuclear cataract can be black. What about cortical cataract? Mature senile cortical cataract.
Grayish white, pearly white, milky white. Have you ever heard of it?
Narendra, tell me the stages of
Yes, sir.
maturation of cortical cataract. Just name the stages.
Image stage of lamellar separation, stage of incipient cataract, immature senile cataract, mature senile cataract, and hypermature senile cataract.
Hypermature types include? What are the two types?
Morganian.
Morganian hypermature cataract and
Morganian.
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 Morgan.
And another one,
Sclerotic type hypermature cataract.
Sclerotic type. Okay. Now which one is milky white and which one is pearly white?
Milky white is Morganian cataract, ma'am.
Pearly white is?
White is sclerotic type of hypermature cataract.
No, pearly white is your mature senile cortical cataract. Okay. Everyone, please don't make this mistake. Grayish white is immature senile cortical cataract. Pearly white is mature senile cortical cataract. Milky white is hypermature cortical cataract. Okay. Okay, Narendra, continue.
come on, continue. Present your case.
Treatment part. And the fundus.
Voice is breaking.
Narendra, just wait. Your voice is breaking. Can you repeat yourself?
Next, after lens taper fundus position. posterior segment pathology.
Narendra, what kind of refractive error do you see in cortical
Yes, ma'am.
cataract?
In cortical myopia
No.
You see myopia and nuclear
and
cataract.
multiple and diplopia and
Narendra,
um,
yeah, what is the type of refractive error in cortical cataract?
It's hypermetropic shape. Okay, in nuclear cataract, it is a myopic shape. In hypermetropic cortical cataract, it is hypermetropic shape. Continue.
and for check for the fundus and posterior segment, if any posterior segment pathologies.
Okay.
So how do you investigate this case? What are you going to do with it? What's the management? What's your diagnosis? Final diagnosis is?
Axis, nuclear senile cataracts.
Okay. You call it nuclear cataract. How do you manage to treat this case?
Management of the
What are the various investigations you want to do?
extracapsular cataract surgery or intracapsular cataract surgery is done, sir.
Narendra, before surgery, you will investigate the patient with a certain set of tests. What all tests would you like to do before posting the case for surgery?
Slit lamp examination is done.
Okay. What is IOP?
Intraocular pressure. Check.
What's the normal intraocular pressure? So why are you taking so much longer time actually? Are you verifying your textbook there?
No, sir.
Then intraocular pressure, it should come out actually. First. What is the normal intraocular pressure? When do you call it actually it's rise? I didn't ask you the diurnal variation of intraocular pressure, but you must be able to take normal intraocular pressure in every individual. What's the range?
Narendra, what is the instrument with which you measure intraocular pressure?
Tonometry. Tonometry is done, ma'am.
Okay, what is the gold standard one? It is known as an applanation tonometer. Okay, Goldman's applanation tonometer.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what is the range now?
20 millimeter.
What's the range?
15 to
What's the range
15.
There is a range for it.
15 to 20 millimeter.
16 plus or minus 2.5 millimeters of mercury. Okay.
More than 21 is considered
More than
raised
21 is
intraocular
cut-off
pressure. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What else would you like to investigate the patient for?
What other investigations to do?
Perception.
Sorry?
Right perception.
Can you repeat yourself?
Light perception.
Light perception.
Light perception.
Okay, see, Narendra, you will be placing an IOL inside the eye, right? During surgery. You will remove the cataract and you'll place an IOL. So how will you calculate the power of the IOL? What are you going to do prior to surgery? What are the two important parameters for calculating an IOL power? What do you require? You require two values, right? Yeah, what is SRK formula?
EM is done,
Can you be louder?
Ma'am, am I audible? Hello,
No.
ma'am.
Yeah, now you're audible. And so what are the two main parameters?
Keratometry is done, ma'am.
Okay, keratometry. What are you going to know through keratometry?
Power of the lens.
What is keratometry specifically calculating in one word? What are you knowing through keratometry? What is it used for?
Corneal curvature is measured.
Okay, and what is the next other parameter which you require?
Yes, scan power of the lens, ma'am.
No,
The yes scan is done to axial length.
axial length of the eyeball. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So you require those two parameters to calculate the IOL power.
Yes, ma'am.
Why is see you said there was no prior treatment history or drug history, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So why is treatment history or drug history important in a case of cataract?
In steroid,
Hmm.
posterior cataract steroids have history of posterior cataract, ma'am. Those who
Posterior?
take steroids,
What cataract?
subcapsular
So
cataract.
steroids, especially when consumed systemically, will cause cataract. What will they cause when consumed topically? When steroids are instilled topically, they have a chance of glaucoma. Okay. Systemically consumed steroids will have a higher chance of causing cataract.
Management, surgery, and test.
Okay. What are your treatment options here?
Anterior capsular cataract surgery, extracapsular cataract surgery, and intracapsular cataract surgery.
So intracapsular cataract extraction is only of historical interest. Nowadays, we are not doing it actually. Understand? Suppose even if you find actually in a subluxated lens, then actually we try to remove it with the lens and place a scleral fixation or some other type of lens, the posterior chamber itself. So what is routinely done? It's only extracapsular cataract.
Extracapsular cataract surgery.
What type of extracapsular cataract extraction? What technique actually you want to use? Especially
Conventional extracapsular cataract surgery.
you want to do conventional cataract extraction, put 5 sutures.
Sir,
Or you want to do a small incision cataract surgery, a self-sealing incision without any sutures, or a phacoemulsification which results in actually minimal astigmatism. Which one you want to use? What is the preference actually?
small incision cataract surgery.
Suppose if you are not convinced with phacoemulsification, you can as well do small incision cataract surgery. Okay, what are the steps of small incision cataract surgery? What is the anesthesia you do?
Local anesthesia, sir.
Local anesthesia. What local anesthesia you want to do?
What kind of block do you want to give, Narendra?
Oh, ma'am.
See, your colleague discussed anesthesia and ocular surgery last week, right?
I didn't.
What? See, there is something called peribulbar block.
Very.
Okay, you do peribulbar block, and then what are the steps of surgery of small incision cataract surgery? So these things we do ask you in the exam.
Okay, sclerocorneal tunnel is made. Narendra, you're not audible.
Then side port entry is done, ma'am.
Okay.
And then anterior capsulotomy is done.
Okay.
What are the types of capsulotomy, you know?
Linear capsulotomy.
Linear.
Yes,
Linear.
ma'am.
Linear. Next.
Linear and canopner capsulotomy and curvilinear capsulotomy, continuous capsulotomy.
Continuous curvilinear capsular excess.
Continue.
Okay, you have done actually your capsulotomy. That one, what do you do?
Then hydrodissection is done.
Hydrodissection.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
What is the purpose of hydrodissection? Separation of
To separate corticonuclear mass from the posterior capsule, sir.
Very good. Next. What is hydrodelineation?
Hydrodelineation. To separate nucleus, to separate nucleus from epinucleus.
Very good. Next, what do you do? Attend both the steps.
Nuclear management.
How
Then
do you manage
nuclear management is done, sir.
How?
Collapse of the nucleus out of the capsular bag, sir. Into the anterior chamber.
Next.
Then delivery of the nucleus outside through the corneocellular tunnel which we had made.
What are the various techniques?
Irrigation, Phaco sandwich method, Phaco fracture method, fish hook method.
Okay, you have removed the nucleus. Next, what are you going to do?
Then aspiration of cortex.
With what instrument you do that?
Aspiration cannula, sir.
Irrigation and aspiration cannula. Okay. Next, what are you going to do? You had done a perfect cortical cleanup. And next, what is the step? What are you going to do?
Narendra, what is the final step?
Hello,
Narendra?
ma'am. Ma'am, am I audible, ma'am?
Yeah, you're audible. What is the final step? You finished the cortical cleanup. You aspirated the cortex.
Wound closure.
Huh?
Removal of viscoelastic, any viscoelastic material is the removal of
Are
the.
you going to put in an IOL or not?
Hello, ma'am.
You plant an IOL, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am. Implantation of the IOL
Okay.
by aspiration candle, and aspiration cannula and the.
You don't implant an IOL with aspiration cannula.
Sorry, ma'am.
With
Implantation of the capsular
bed
bed.
Or a lens coating process.
or a lens coating.
Ma'am,
Fatima అనే పెద్ద అడుగుతుంది ask her about the young gap syndrome. Is she verified?
Okay, Narendra, thank you.
closure of the wound is done.
Okay. Okay, Narendra, thank you. Thank you for your
Thank you.
case presentation. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Is there Fatima? Fatima, can you unmute yourself?
Fatima. Complications.
Fatima, yesterday you spoke about complications of cataract surgery, right? Can you please unmute yourself and respond?
So thank you. We'll meet next Monday. I think we are going to give you Monday and Wednesday. It will be actually a seminar. On Thursday, you are going to present a case. Okay?
Is it audible to everyone? On Monday and Wednesday, again, you'll be having seminars, and next Thursday, again, we'll be having a case presentation. So we'll meet again on Monday. Okay? Thank you.
Have a nice weekend.